Howdy howdy, this is Crafty Grinding back again with an arena cut-up video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I'm going to cover round 1 predictions for the new Night Thrasher and Cable arenas. So the first thing I always like to do is categorize these arenas to past arenas, as it allows me to do some trend analysis. And when it comes to feature arenas, really there's two types: old champs and new champs. Obviously Night Thrasher, he's new. And then when we look at Cable and the 4-star basic arena, really there's 3 types: high interest, low interest, and medium interest. In the case with Cable, even though he has some utility still in the game, he will fall in that low bucket, at least in my opinion. And let's take a look at some of the past arenas similar to these. So starting first with that 4-star basic low interest results, and you can kind of see he's in that Nightcrawler, Black Panther, Civil War, Nebula, and I think almost identical to the Nebula kind of zone. I think that's kind of the numbers we'll see. I think it won't be Abomination kind of low interest, but more kind of that Nebula, Nightcrawler kind of area. And then we look at 3-star feature results for new champs. There has been some new data coming in, but this is it hasn't been coming in regular enough to update these. So this just gives you a kind of sense of where we were a couple months ago. Since these numbers, we've seen the trend go up a little bit closer to 1.2, 1.3 million. I think with Aegon especially, he pushed over that 1.3 to almost 1.35. Not exactly there, but getting close. But anyway, really the trend's now moved to 1.2, 1.3 million for new champs in the 3-star feature arena. Now when it comes to the 4-star feature arena, it's kind of... there is some variation, and I kind of wanted to show that with some of the champs that I chose here. I used to have Omega Red and Emma Frost in there, but really Aegon now kind of represents what the high end looks like these days, and that was just the most recent new champ in the 4-star feature arena. And you can see, because of all the interest in Aegon, that 4-star feature went all the way to 15.5. But when there's not a lot of interest, you got the other end of the spectrum with the champion, who went for 11.8. Before that, though, then the kind of the average, the mean, if you will, was kind of like what we saw for Heimdall and Korg, running around that between 13 and 14 million. Then when it comes to the 5-star feature, same thing. A lot of variation. At the low end, you got in the 40s, and you can see Venom the Duck went even lower than the champion, but the champion went for 45. Going about a month or two back beyond that, behind Heimdall, you saw he was going for 49 million. Korg went for 57, and then most recently, Aegon set the all-time highest cutoff in the first round for the 5-star feature at 68, just eclipsing what Emma Frost had. Was like 67 and some change. But anyway, so you have that high-end champ, but there's a ton of interest like there was for Aegon. But when you don't, with like the champion again, you can see that it can dip back under 50 million. So it's always important to get a good read from what the community thinks. So if you're new, if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I always like to ask the community what's your all's opinion, as it's really us, the community, that kind of drives these numbers anyway. And 520 of you took the time to vote, so I appreciate that very, very much. And you can see here, the community's kind of split. Everybody thinks it won't fall into that champion zone, but only a pocket is really think it's going to be some of the higher end, where you know, there's a lot of split in that 50 to 60 million range. And when I was looking at some of the comments, you know, I think a lot of people were saying, you know, like Kyle, if you look at his input here, he was saying like not many people are going to grind. It's the holiday season. There's not a ton of information out about this champ kind of thing. So there's other things to do than grind in the arena, and there's not a lot of hype yet really for this champ. Whereas like Aegon, when he pushed the numbers up, there was a lot of interest looking at Aegon at that point. However, to give you just a different opinion, Red Hawk here says that just because he's a new champ and he comes back from the old days, people want him, and also the resemblance of Deadpool. So because this guy kind of looks like Deadpool and old school kind of thing, I think a lot of folks, and I've heard some folks talk about the animations of the skateboard kind of look cool, but some of the early results also talked about doesn't look to be the best out of the 2 new champs that are coming this month between Darkhawk and Night Thrasher here. So I kind of side with Kyle on this one. The community's kind of split, so I'm going to kind of go on the lower end where the community's kind of feeling. So anyway, here are my thoughts. Here are my predictions for the round 1 of the Night Thrasher and Cable arenas, and this is for the veterans bracket, meaning your account's been open for over 61 days. I think we're going to be looking at 51 million for Night Thrasher 5-star feature. I think we'll be looking around 13 million for the 4-star feature. I think Cable again is going to fall closer to that Nebula number, around 1.8 million. And I think even though the hype is isn't there for Aegon. I do think the cutoff for the 3-star feature will push around 1.25, 1.3 million for the cutoff. And again, with these cutoff, I'm always trying to get within 5 to 10%, which, you know, means I always like to give a grind target to give a little buffer on these where I think the cutoffs were going to be. So I think for the 5-star feature, Dark Thrasher, or Night Thrasher, we're looking at 53 million. For the 4-star feature, 14 million should work. Maybe even 15 million, but 14 million should probably get it done. 2 million will get it done for Cable, the 4-star basic, and 1.35 should be enough for Night Thrasher and the 3-star feature arena. Now these predictions and grind targets are for the veterans bracket. When it comes to the lower brackets, beginner and intermediate, or I should say earlier brackets, I don't have a ton of trend data to look at, so these are just some rough ballpark numbers based off of anecdotal information I get from time to time from the community. So with that being said, the beginner bracket, brand new account, 1 to 30 days, you're looking 3-star feature around 245,000, 4-star basic, you're looking at 1 million, and for the 4-star Night Thrasher, you're looking right around 1 million as well. For the intermediate bracket, meaning your account's about a month old, you're looking 3-star feature around 550,000, 4-star, I was going to say Domino, 4-star Cable, you're looking at 800,000, probably even 700,000, but 800,000 to be sure. And then for the 4-star feature, Night Thrasher, you're looking right around 1.4 million. So anyway, these are my thoughts for the first round of the Night Thrasher and Cable arenas. Would love to hear your thoughts or any questions. Throw them on down in the comment section. We can definitely discuss them there. And if you like this video, I really appreciate you clicking that thumbs up button. If you like this and other videos I have on the channel, would really appreciate you subscribe. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.